Hi guys, how's it going? Today we're here in Copenhagen, Denmark, going to show off Tivoli Gardens, going to go walk around, show you all the different rides and things there is to do at this wonderful park. I'm the Legend, joined by Molly, and happy to check this one out. Pretty good things, pretty famous. So let's kick off the tour with the most famous ride here at Tivoli Gardens, and that is the roller coaster, which is a authentic, like, brakeman style wooden roller coaster that was built, I believe, around 100 years ago. You can see it coming through there, complete with the brakeman on it. That guy right there. So that guy rides in the middle of the roller coaster and then controls the speed to make sure it's not going too crazy. Which is, this is a ride type I have never been on before. There's quite a line. I really wanted to get this filmed during the daytime because at night I feel like it would not look nearly as good. So there is the roller coaster. So this crazy looking ride is Tic Tac, which I think might be a Mondial Shake, but I love the theming. Like, right above the platform is like this clock that goes like forwards, backwards. And the ride itself, these are really fun rides. So love the theming on this one. So this flat ride is something I have never seen before. It's called Fata Morgana. Essentially, it's kind of like a Husk Condor, except two of the sides don't have the traditional Condor seats. They just have like outside seating seats. So it's really neat. Plus, it gives you that awesome view of Copenhagen. So this is a very unique, very cool ride. You can see those there, sort of swirling around. So this is cool. Underneath the Fata Morgana is Mini Morgana, which is like a kid's bumper cars, but they're like really cool, really well themed bumper cars. It's a really kind of unique setting. There's not many of them, and kids are not normally good at driving bumper cars, but they're there. So here is the Daemon, which is kind of the park's marquee roller coaster, or at least their marquee modern roller coaster. A B&M floorless roller coaster, kind of does a Great Bear thing before the first drop. And then it goes down here, through a loop. It's also one of the most compact floorless coasters I've ever seen. Like, it's even more compact than the one at Six Flags New England. And unfortunately, it's also not good. Like, it's pretty rough. Like, it feels like a one of the stand-ups they converted to a floorless, but they did not do that on this one. So, well, it's definitely pretty looking. The ride itself, not that great. So one thing Daemon's got going for it is a wonderfully themed station and a really smart loose article policy. So you put your loose articles on the other side, like over there. Once the ride dispatches, they'll spin it around for over here because it's only got 2 trains. While Daemon might not have been my favorite ride in the park, I love the area they built underneath it, like it's like Asian-style Midway games and, you know, not Asian-style snacks, but Asian-style snack stands. Like, the aesthetic is really, really cool. When it comes to pretty rides, this is definitely one of them. I believe this is known as the Dragon Boats, and essentially it's just like, kind of like bumper boats, except without the speed. And you get in there and you just sort of like float around and drive your boat wherever you want to. But I mean, with the view and the setting, like, that's fantastic. Check out the park's Starflyer ride. It does not spin nearly as fast as some of the other ones does. But I haven't been on it yet, but I imagine that has to give you just an awesome view of Copenhagen. This is really cool, like a spinning frog hopper style kids ride. Again, theming level really, really cool. I love, like, look at the little village area it's set in. Very, very pretty. So this ride is known at Tivoli Gardens as Aquila. It is a Zamperla air race, but a heavily themed version of it. Like, the cars look like little birds. And there's lots of ornate stuff, like, on the centerpiece. Definitely a prettier than normal version of this ride. Here's the park's Dumbo-style spinner ride, but it is really, really pretty. Kind of reminiscent of the one at Marineland up in Canada, but definitely prettier. Radio Bill in here is the park's bumper car, and it looks like nothing too special, but some of the cars have like working headlights on them, and I love how detailed the cars are. And they have working headlights on some of them. So this is kind of cool. They have like two kids drop tower style attractions like right next to each other. One being your traditional SNS fog hopper, and the other one being like your lumberjack lifts at Dollywood, or the ride you see a lot of times in the Legoland parks, where you sort of climb yourself up and you can drop down whenever. Here's the Carousel at Tivoli Gardens, and I love like your kids can sit way up high on a giraffe. They have a rocking thing. They can sit way up high on multiple camels. Like it's a very, very different carousel as it comes to a stop here. So another thing to love about Tivoli Gardens, check out the Hyde sticks. They're like these little proper mustachioed gentlemen. So here you can see the park's Ferris wheel, very small, like 6 cars, but really unique looking. Now I think the most unique flat ride in all of Tivoli Gardens is this guy right here. This is Vertigo. So you're on this tiny like plane thing, flipping upside down on the end of an arm. It's pretty bonkers. So this ride here is Monsoon, kind of like a flying carpet style ride, but you're inverted, and then the water sort of messes with you, or at least it normally messes with you. Maybe not today. So this adorable flat ride here is the galley ship, and I love the thing in the middle. Like there's a pirate ship in the middle. It's like spinning and blowing smoke out of the cannon. Definitely one of the older looking flat rides here, but really neat. So they have another carousel. First of all, look at that. That's crazy. And it's like a 2-level carousel here.
I do look like.
So Minen is the park's shooting dark ride. It's kind of like a boat shooting dark ride, and it's kind of weird because you go through these big show scenes with like these weird like groundhog hamster kind of people, but it's a kind of shooting dark ride I hate because you shoot things and nothing happens. So like there are actually some pretty cool sets in there, but you shoot things and nothing happens. So it's probably a ride that was better before it added the guns. So one bummer here, the park is kind of redoing their mine train style roller coaster. It's a big project, like a 6 months or so project. So we're not going to get to ride it while it's here, so that's a bit of a bummer. But obviously, this park operates a lot of it's been here for a long, long time. That ride's been here for a long, long time. So at some point they're going to have to replace it. And it just happens to be now. Oh man, some more fun Midway games here. First of all, it's some sort of like kind of like a giant roulette wheel. But then I love the effects. Like behind is a giant video screen. But then there's actually like practical effects up here to have you play to try and win a giant collection of chocolates. So you will definitely not go hungry at Tivoli Gardens, as there are a ton of places to eat, from like the just like your classic fast food to very, very nice food and like Michelin star style restaurants. So we just got off Den Flying Coopert, which in English translates to the flying trunk. And guys, this was just wonderful. It is a straight up Haunted Mansion style omni-mover dark ride through the stories of Hans Christian Andersen, done very much in like a Small World style. But it's probably about a 5-minute ride with wonderful narration. It's really kind of perfect, especially if you're a tourist in Denmark like we are. like to hear the kind of stories and things like that. I loved it. Molly, what are your thoughts?
I liked it too. You could switch between languages of English or
yeah, you just had to flip a switch left or right for Danish or English.
I quite enjoyed it.
Even the guy holding the stairs here at Tivoli Gardens is cool. Guys, this just screams like wacky European theme park to me, and also awesome because I believe there's a beer garden over here. Those guys are drinking giant beers. I want a giant beer, but just like, look at the scenery of this place. Holy cow. Hey Molly, what time is it?
Beer 30.
Beer 30 indeed, and it's mega beer 30. Drinking liters of beer here from the beer garden at Tivoli, and just gonna hang out on this, like it's kind of evening time now, and just people watch, drink a giant beer. This is very, very cool. More cool stuff at Tivoli Gardens at night. I didn't even see this. There's an old pirate ship like right on the lake. Guys, I know it's nighttime, but here's a better shot of that pirate ship. It's like a restaurant pub kind of thing. So cool. Look at how adorable this is. I'm not really sure what I'm looking at, but there's a penguin. So one thing I just learned about Tivoli Gardens, it has its own brew house, like its own microbrewery. We'll say this is definitely a very pretty park. The park has a really pretty show venue over here. I couldn't tell you what kind of show is going to be here, but it'll be here in about a half an hour.
Because there's so many options.
At the Peacock stage. Another pretty section of Tivoli Gardens over here. Fountains, and then you got this statue over there. Tivoli Gardens also beautiful in the evening time.
So towards the end of the operating day, Tivoli Gardens does do a small-scale nighttime show called Illuminations on their lake. The show's not a big deal. I wouldn't go too far out of your way to go see it, but you have to be wandering around. It's kind of nice. It is pretty much like the rest of Tivoli Gardens.
Swung in here to the Mezzo bar because I realized it was a happy hour for another like 30 minutes. and I got a beer for 35 kronen. Now I do have to pay an extra 5 kronen extra for this this cup, but if I put it into one of the recycling machines, I get that 5 kronen back. Or I could keep it. Molly, what do you think? Should we keep it or give it back?
Depends.
That's a keep it. No, that's a throw it back.
It's a whatever you feel like. I'm not gonna make that call.
She wants to give it away. Throw it back. As the tram comes by. Now I believe this tram here kind of takes you all around the park. Which is kind of cool if you don't want to walk. It's pretty adorable. So that'll do it for our time here at Tivoli Gardens, and I liked it. This park was it was weird, but it was really, really cool. Like there were no real standout rides. I would say that probably the flying trunk and the roller coaster were my favorite rides, but it's a beautiful park to walk around. There's tons of good food and beverage items. There's beer everywhere. We didn't get it on camera, but they had a crazy fun house that was like, no way this would be allowed in America kind of fun house, and that was really cool. Molly, what do you think about Tivoli Gardens here?
I agree. It's really pretty at night, so try to go in the afternoon, evening, because it definitely changes environment at the evening.
Yes, once the light comes on. I mean, I feel like you kind of should do what we did during today. Like we got here around 6:30, and so we saw it like in the daytime, and then we saw it after, like, you know, all the lights came on, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
Like, do you have a favorite ride?
Probably the dark ride, the flying
The
trunk.
flying trunk? Yeah.
Yeah, just because it was so different in that the ride system itself.
Yeah, it was very Haunted Mansion-y, and yeah, that was probably my favorite ride as well. But I really like the roller coaster and the vibe of the park. And there's beer everywhere, and you go to like a German bar and get like a liter of beer.
Yep.
And how cool that is. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you're planning a trip to Tivoli, hope this helped you out. Thanks for watching.